Long Island, the open borders policies of Kamala Harris, and it were really her policies, and the communist left, I call it the communist left, have been importing MS-13 gang members by the thousands. I don't know what it is about Long Island, but you know, I took thousands and thousands of gang members out. Do you remember the story? Remember, I came into the presidency and MS-13 was on my mind because I saw that in Long Island, two beautiful young girls were walking to school. They were 16 years old, and an MS-13 gang of deviants grabbed the girls and sliced them up into pieces. Not with guns. They didn't want guns. They killed the two girls. They sliced them into little pieces, and I never forgot that. And then I found out that things like that are happening all over, wherever they are. MS-13, the worst gang anywhere. The only thing good about that is they make our gangs look like very nice people, I want to tell you. These are the worst people. They're animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, you shouldn't call people animals. That's not appropriate. They're animals. That's the philosophy. And I said, I got to the White House, and I said, they have a lot in Ohio, a lot in every state. And I said, I want MS-13 out of here. They come from various places, a little bit south of Mexico. They come from Mexico, too. And I said, what I want you to do is I want to bring them out. And the general said, sir, I'm sorry, sir. The countries will not, under any circumstances, allow us to bring them back in. They don't want them anymore, sir. I said, how long has this been going on? Many years during the Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? Many years, sir, under the Barack Hussein Obama administration. It's been going on for years, so they won't take them. You know what they do? They would take Honduras, okay? Think of it. They would take planes, and they would put them on the runways. They would put the planes, El Salvador, or different countries, some of the roughest gangs. They put big commercial aircraft. So when a plane is going to fly in with 200 or 300 MS-13 killers, you couldn't land the plane. They said, sir, we can't get them back. All of the bus routes are blocked. We can't get the buses in. And when they know a plane is coming, they put planes on the runway. Sir, we won't be able to do it. I said, I think you will. How much money do we pay them for? Economic development of the dictator's house. How much money do we pay them, General? I'll get back to you, sir. He comes back the next day. Sir, we pay them $750 million a year. It's a lot. Let me tell you, it's peanuts compared to some of the money that we pay, but it's a lot of money. I said, inform these countries that under no circumstances are they getting any money anymore. They're not getting any money. They are delinquent. They're not allowing us to bring back people that they forced into our country through caravans. So they informed them, and the next day I get to the Oval Office nice and early, and I get calls from 3 particular countries separately. Sir, there seems to be a problem or a misunderstanding. I said, yeah, there is a misunderstanding. You're not taking your MS-13 people that you sent into our country. You're not taking them back. And I'm going to not give any money to your country forever. You're never getting 10 cents. And in all cases, they said something to the effect, sir, it is so bad that I didn't know about this. I wish I would have known about it. We would love to take MS-13 back into our country. We love them very much. We will take them back, sir. And that day, that afternoon, we started bringing them out of our country by the thousands and thousands and thousands. And the worst part of the story is, now, I still didn't pay them. I figured. But now they're getting $4 billion a year. Under Biden. Biden said, do it. Maybe she knew about it. I don't want to blame her if she didn't, but $4 billion. You know why? Because he wants them to create a beautiful environment so that they say that that's not going to happen. Okay, the money's going to be stolen all over the place. So instead of 750, it's now at $4 billion. An estimated 75% of arrests in Midtown Manhattan and over 60% of arrests in Queens are now illegal aliens. Congratulations. Congratulations. And you know this. In Queens a few months ago, an illegal alien released by Kamala Harris, she was in charge of the border, approached 2 13-year-old children with a machete, in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them together by the wrists and raped them, injured them terribly, very badly. You know about it. In the Bronx, another illegal alien that Kamala Harris set loose into our country approached a 36-year-old woman while pretending to ask for directions. Ma'am, he said, I'd like directions to someplace. Before he wrapped his arms around her throat, pinned her down on a park bench, and raped her all night and beat the hell out of her. And you know what she said? She said, he didn't rape me, he tried to kill me. That was her expression when the police came. And on Coney Island, a place I know well, just weeks ago, 2 migrants, Kamala let in, raped a 46-year-old woman with a knife to her throat. She was badly, badly beaten, probably going to live. For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave of migrant crime, and I've been talking about migrant crime for 5 years, I said if you let them in, it's going to be hell. They are vicious, violent criminals that are being let into our country. They're people that their countries who are very smart, they don't want them. That's why all over the world, a lot of people coming from jails out of the Congo in Africa. Where do you come from? The Congo. Where in the Congo? We come from jail. What did you do? We will not tell you. They're coming from the Congo. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from all over the world. Asia. A lot of it coming from Asia. And what's happening to our country is we're just destroying the fabric of life in our country, and we're not going to take it any longer. And you got to get rid of these people. Give me a shot. You will have a safe New York within 3 months. 3 months. For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave of migrant crime, November 5th will be your liberation day. It's going to be liberation because you are living like hell. You're living a life like hell. I will launch a special task force of elite federal law enforcement people, many of whom I already know, that are tough, and charge them with crushing the MS-13 remnants. You know, the problem is I got them out and now they come back in. They just walk back in like there's nothing to it. But eliminating MS-13 in every foreign gang and organized criminal network opening up on American soil. They're coming in by the millions, not by the hundreds. They're coming in by the millions. Think of it. Probably 21 million people. That's probably a low number. We can do all of this and more, but patriotic New Yorkers must get your asses out to vote. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry. We got to vote. Got to vote. And I believe we have the vote. You know, it's an interesting thing. Evangelical Christians, they tend not to vote very much. If they did, you'd never lose. Gun owners, I have the total endorsement of the NRA, have had it from the beginning. Gun owners don't vote, meaning they don't vote in a proportion that they should. Very small numbers vote. It's probably rebellion, who knows what it is. The gun owners have to get out and vote. Evangelicals, Christians have to get out and vote. People have to get out. There are some groups that don't vote like they should, and we're going to win. We're pleased to be joined tonight by members of Congress that are really terrific, that are warriors, really warriors. And one of them in particular, I love what she did to that woman at Harvard. Oh, that was not pretty. Elise Stefanik. Where is Elise? Where is she? Where is she? She is so great. Where the hell is she? Thank you, Elise. Boy, she was great. Mark Molinaro. Great. Nick LaLota. Nick. Thank you, Nick. Great job. He's doing a good job. Here's another one doing a good job. I gave him a big endorsement, Anthony D'Esposito. He's doing a great job. Thank you, Anthony. Salt. Salt, Anthony, remember, fellas, salt. Brandon Williams, doing great. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. Nick Langworthy, terrific guy. Claudia Tenney, where's Claudia? Where's Claudia? She's been amazing. Congressional candidates, Mike LePetri. Where's Mike? Thank you, Mike. Good. I heard you leading big. And Allison Esposito, she's a tough one. Allison, thank you. Thank you very much. It's tough, you know, when you have this many people. I'm looking around. Where's one person? Thank you very much, Allison. Beautiful. Senate candidate, Mike Sapriacone. Mike Sapriacone. Come on, Mike. Where's Mike? You got to win, Mike. We got to win that one, Mike. You can do that. You can do that. A former senator and a friend of mine for a long time, and we had disputes every once in a while, but generally I would say it was a 10 relationship, and he was a tough cookie, Senator Al D'Amato. Right? Good man. A good man. A great lawyer and congressman, and he helped me a lot during impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2. They were hoaxes. Congressman Lee Zeldin. He's great. And he's a big part of our campaign, and I want to bring him to Washington with us. He's a great lawyer. Get ready. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, who's fantastic. A mayor who was a fantastic mayor, very shy kind of a guy. He took crime, it was terrible. It was at a level that was as bad as today. And he made New York the safest big city in the world. Rudy Giuliani. Boy, Rudy, isn't that great? And his son, who happens to be a great golfer. A lot of people say, oh, how's Andrew? Not that good. Let me tell you, he's seriously good. Andrew Giuliani. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Did a good job. And a very beautiful little boy who went through hell. But I brought him some presents. That's why I was late for you today. I brought him presents. I said, Liam, do you think the crowd of 20,000 plus a lot of people outside, you know, we put up big televisions on the back of the building, but that's not like being here. It's wonderful. Hello out there. I hope you're enjoying it. Big, big, beautiful screens. We have big screens. Not quite like being in the third row, first row. But Liam LaCastro is here, and he is a great young man. He's gone through a lot, but he's going to be better soon, right, Liam? And I got him the most beautiful presents. He's a great boy, great parents, beautiful sister. Also with us are members of New York City Firefighters Union, Local 94, the largest in the city. Thank you, fellas. Incredible people. And in their honor, and I think this is a big deal, because in your honor, I am announcing tonight that as president, I will officially make the Ground Zero site at the World Trade Center a national monument, protected and maintained by the United States government, so that hallowed ground and the memory of those who perished there will be preserved for all time, preserved forever. And you deserve it. A lot of great people. I met them last week. Thank you. Thank you. Well, and I met him last week with the ceremony, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and met a lot of fantastic people. The New Yorkers who created the 9/11 National Memorial Museum really did an amazing job, didn't they? And many of them are here today, and I want to thank them. And I want to ensure that their outstanding work is sustained forever, and that's what we've done by doing this. So we are just 48 days away from the most important election in American history. The most important. The most. Stand up. Now you can stand up. They didn't put your name down. Turn around. Who is he? Name him. He took care of business, right? It's my man. Good. Boy, I'm glad I didn't forget you. A good friend of mine for a long time. Whenever I had problems, I'd look at him and they'd say, let's leave Trump alone. Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate it. Great gentleman. Kamala Harris is for wide open borders with terrorists and criminals pouring into our country, more inflation, even higher than the last 4 years, which was a record. She wants to pack the Supreme Court. Think of that one. And today I heard it all. I thought they wanted maybe 11, maybe they wanted 13. That's an unlucky number, so maybe it would be 15 instead of 9. But instead of 9, Kamala wants to bring up potentially as many as 25 justices so that they can rig the system like they rig everything else, including elections. And maybe one of the worst things of all, she is a true believer. And again, I said this before, if you want to defund the police, if you've been there even for a day, in your mind you want to defund the police even for one day, you are not qualified to be the President of the United States. Because anybody who wants to defund the police, we can't have it. We can't have it. It'll go down. It'll go down. We're not going to let our country fail. It's too great. And you know what? If we don't win this election, it's very possible we'll never have another chance. We have to do it. You have to get out. You have to vote. But Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She supports free health care for illegal aliens. How about that one? You don't get free health care. These are all things that she was for years. Now for the last little while, she's saying, no, I don't really think that was right anymore. 15 different things. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for all illegals, which means totally bankrupting Social Security and Medicare. She wants to put illegal aliens into your Social Security and your Medicare system, which guarantees their bankruptcy. She says we must not utter the words illegal alien again or radical Islamic terrorist again. And think of this, during her 3.5 year, to me this is the worst thing I talk about tonight. It's unbelievable. During her period of 3.5 years, she was in charge of the border. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children, many of whom have been trafficked, raped, and many of whom are dead. Many of whom are dead. Think of what that is. That's like Yankee Stadium filled up many, many times. Think of it. Think of it. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person. I'd never heard of this. Rape of a very unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She vowed repeatedly to ban fracking. She imposed a natural gas export ban that is crushing the state of Pennsylvania. I'm way up in Pennsylvania, by the way. This helps. But she's not going to let, you know, the day after the election, all of these things come back. I hope you know that. She praised the idea of a tax rate of between 70 and 80%, and her only idea for solving inflation is to impose communist-inspired price controls, which have never worked. She pledged to abolish. Does anybody here have private health care? You worked hard. She wants to abolish anybody that's worked hard and made some money. Private health care, no more private health care, and force everyone into a socialist government-run health care with high taxes and deadly wait times. And she even endorsed free sex change operations for illegal aliens in detention, all at taxpayer expense. Now think of that one. They come into the country illegally and they say, I want to change my sex. Oh, that's okay. She's totally in favor of it. I'm sure she'll deny it now, but that's what she is. In 2021, Joe Biden tasked Kamala Harris with bringing broadband to rural America. Rural America was dying for it, and gave her $42 billion to do the job. 3 years later, right now, not a single home has been connected to broadband. Everyone's saying, what happened to the money? $42 billion, not one home. And in the Midwest, you read this, in the Midwest, they built 8 charging stations. That's like a gas pump with electricity, right? 8. They spent $9 billion to build 8 charging stations. Other than that, it really works well. I will end the electric mandate on cars immediately. And I have to say this, look, Elon Musk is great. He's a great guy, and he makes a great car. And as strong as I am on this, because I think they're incredible, but it's limited. Some people want them, and some people love them. I think they're incredible, and he makes a great product, maybe the best product I hear. And he understands this. Some people have to go far distances. Some people don't want the additional cost. Some people don't want their car built in China. Electric cars will be built in China. I'm going to bring back the auto industry. We're going to have gasoline-powered cars. We're going to have hybrids. We're going to have electric cars. We're going to have everything. The new one is hydrogen. I heard about that the other day. Hydrogen. There's one little problem. If it blows up, you're dead. It's great until one day there's a little bit of a problem, Anthony, and it blows up. And when that happens, it's not a pretty picture. So I think I'll take a pass on that one, if you don't mind, for a while. And just today, 3 agencies of the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden administration, the FBI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they just released a report confirming that Iran actors hacked into the Trump campaign's email accounts and in turn sought to give the hacked materials to the Biden-Harris campaign. They gave them all of the materials because Biden is working with Iran, and Iran doesn't exactly like me because they were ready to make a deal, except we had an election that was rigged and stolen. And look at what's happening to our world now. But no, Iran hacked into my campaign. I don't know what the hell they found. I'd like to find out. Couldn't have been too exciting. But they gave it to the Biden campaign. I can't believe it. Oh, yes, I can. But this is really foreign election interference. This is real election interference, not the phony crap that they've been trying to pin on me with Russia, Russia, Russia for years. Whatever happened to Russia, Russia, Russia? Remember the 51 intelligence agents? They said, no, no, the laptop from hell, it's Russia. No, it was Hunter. It was Hunter. Remember that? We had to go 2.5 years, and then they finally said, all right, the Mueller, remember Mueller? He said, in millions of phone calls, Trump didn't make one to Russia. They went through every phone call I made. Can you imagine? In millions of calls, not one call to me. And a lot of people apologize for that, but not enough people apologize. They wasted time and money. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars going after me, and they got nothing. They got nothing. But we cannot allow this insanity to continue anymore. That's why less than 2 months from now, we are going to tell Kamala that we've had enough. Kamala, you've been a terrible vice president. You will be an even worse president. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. You're fired. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. That was a little line from The Apprentice, which I'm sure you haven't seen. What a great show. Was The Apprentice good or what? From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala Harris, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion, an invasion like no country has ever seen before. We will stop it immediately. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in American history. We're getting them out of our country. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. We have more than anybody else. And we have more. Think of it, we have more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than anybody else, especially when you add Anwar in Alaska, which we will reinstitute immediately. We're going to use it along with growth. We are going to grow to start paying down our debt. We have $35 trillion in national debt. We were all set to do it. And then we got hit by COVID. We had to focus on that. And then we gave back. You know, I got great marks on the military. We took out ISIS, wiped out ISIS 100%. We did it in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 4 years, 5 years. And I got great marks in the economy, never got great marks in COVID because they didn't want to give them to me. But the fact is, we did an unbelievable job. Nobody knew what the hell it was. It came from China. It came from the Wuhan lab. I said all these things. And we did an unbelievable job. And we handed over a country whose stock market was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in. And amazing. But we did have to focus on that. Think of what China did to us. The world has $60 trillion and millions of people dead over that disaster. Think of that. The whole world, even China suffered very much. They suffered at the end more than almost anybody. I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been before. We're going to bring back the car industry. We're going to bring back the car industry. Other countries that make us pay a tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. We have countries, not only China, many countries, many of them are allies. Some of the worst trading countries are allies. Don't let that word surprise you. They're allies, they're friends of ours, and they take advantage of us horribly on the military with NATO and on trade. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, and if China or any other country charges us a 200 or 100 or 300% tax, then we will charge them a like 100, 200, 300% tax in return. You charge us, we charge you. And my message is very simple. Make your product right here in Uniondale. Make your product in America. Make your product in America and only in America. And if you do that, Bruce, you won't have to pay a tax. And they'll be coming in here like you wouldn't believe, right? The worst that happens, we'll take in a lot of money, but we don't even want that. We want them to make their product. We're going to bring back the auto industry. Right now, China's building some of the largest auto plants in the world, and they're building them in Mexico. And they think they're going to build these massive plants, literally the biggest in the world. They're going to make millions of cars and sell them without tax across our border. We will put a tariff on all of those cars to a point where they won't be able to sell them, because we want them to build their plants in the United States and hire many of the people in this audience, and that's what's going to happen. And we also have something that's basic, but wow, people said, you're really smart. Where the hell did you think of this one? No tax on tips. So if you're a waitress, a caddy, a driver, but maybe better, no tax on overtime. And we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Unlike him with student loan debt that went nowhere, just to talk. We get it. I get it all done. Remember what they say, promises made, promises kept. That's me. And ready? Here's for the seniors. Do we have any seniors in the audience? Raise your hand. You ready? No tax on Social Security benefits. No tax on Social Security benefits. And you know why you deserve it? Because you lived like hell with the highest inflation probably in the history of our country, and you couldn't make ends meet. Now you're not going to have to pay tax on your Social Security benefit. And I will always protect Social Security and Medicare, and they won't. They're going to destroy it. They're putting the migrants all over the place, including there. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates. We're going to cap it at around 10%. We can't let them make 25 and 30%. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend trillions of dollars. We're going to take the Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in the history of our country. Remember when they used to say global warming? They don't say that anymore. They say climate change because the planet's actually getting cooler. Climate change, Chuck. Climate change is different. Just Chuck Zito. Oh, I feel safe with him in the front row. Are you afraid of climate change, Chuck? Because now it's no longer global warming because that wasn't working so well, because it was getting cooler. Now it's climate change because that covers if it's warmer, it's cooler. We're going to take all of that money, we're going to take it, and we're going to rebuild. We're going to take this money from the Green New Scam. It's a Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in history. And we're going to spend it on roads and bridges and real infrastructure. And we're going to pay down debt, not fake infrastructure that's caused massive inflation and has no benefit whatsoever for our country. And I will settle the war in Ukraine. I got along very well with Putin and Zelensky. And I will end the chaos in the Middle East. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote to obliterate Israel. That's what's going to happen. Israel will not exist in 2 years. And by the way, we are closer to World War III right now than at any time during anybody's life in this beautiful room. I will stand with Israel and we will return a thing called peace through strength. And we're going to get it settled. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. We're not going to have war in the Middle East. We're not going to have war with Russia and Ukraine. You know, when I was there, we didn't have any war other than ISIS. I finished them off. We knocked out al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS. Think of that. We knocked them off. It was supposed to take 4 to 5 years. I did it in 4 weeks. General Raisin Cain, what's your name? Cain, sir, what's your first name? Well, they call me Raisin. I said, your name is Raisin Cain. That's the general I was looking. He did it in 4 weeks. The Russian attack on Ukraine and the October 7th attack on Israel would never have happened if I was president. Would never have happened. Think of what the world would be, and think of what our nation would be with no Russia-Ukraine war, no October 7th disaster in Israel and the Middle East. It's inflamed right now. It's inflamed like nobody's seen it for 50 years. No inflation and energy dominance. That's what it would have, energy dominance. We'd have no inflation. We wouldn't have either the Middle East or the Russia, Ukraine. What a different world it would be, wouldn't it be? Oh, we can't let them cheat on elections anymore. We can't let it happen. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Right now, we have a capital that when you go down there, you have a damn good chance of being hurt, mugged, something. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. We're losing that, but I'll keep it. I'll keep it. China wants to take it over, and if that happened to us, that would be like losing a war. That would be the biggest thing. That would make us a third world country. We will keep our dollar as the reserve currency. Remember, I said it, and it will be easy. It'll be easy. But this is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. That's what we're going to do. Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Very simple. Right? We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our police, strengthen our military. I want to wish a happy 77th birthday to the United States Air Force. And if you remember, I created Space Force, which was the last since Air Force, which will soon be 5 years old. Space Force has turned out to be very important. We will build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections, and we will secure our borders. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and the crooked Democrats, and we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that is very simply too big to rig. Too big to rig. Right, Bruce? Too big to rig. Joe, too big to rig. Too big to rig, Joe. I think we can do that, too. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country, because together we will make America powerful again, make America wealthy again, make America healthy again, make America strong again, make America proud again, make America safe again, make America free again, and we will make America great again. Thank you very much. We love New York. Love New York. Thank you. God bless you all. Nice seeing you.
All right, there you go, President Trump. Well, we're not going to get a towel dance to Nessa Dorma.
Wow, you come to Long Island, you got to have a little Italian music.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
come on. Hey.
Yeah.
You got to get some sauce.
Hey, Festa Majul.
Let's go.
All right, President Trump live from the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York tonight in a fiery, energized speech to an energized and fiery crowd all day out there. Some craziness going on on Hempstead Turnpike today. But the president was fired up. A lot of the same stuff, but some different stuff in there from the president. And, well, I mean, dare I say, the greatest moment in the history of all rallies. The greatest moment in the history of all rallies is President Trump.
Yes.
As President Trump I'm surprised he did this publicly, discussed what he said about November 5th to Harry on the highway backstage. And if you missed it, here's what he said he told Harry on the highway to do on November 5th. Roll it, Aaron.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go.
And he sounds like you,
Let's
David.
go, Harry.
You know what's so funny about that too?
That's great.
That he knows that's how we think of Harry. It's like when you say get up and do something, it's like, oh, it's you must be talking about Harry.
Yeah.
Call the locksmith, Harry.
I just can't believe the president. Maybe Harry said it was okay to talk about. Maybe he said it's okay to talk about, sir.
You got clearance.
When you get out there, because obviously talking about voting on November 5th. Just one more time for me, Aaron. Yeah. This is what the president said. This is what clearly President Trump talked to Harry on the highway about backstage about November 5th, and he brought it public. So I guess we'll just have to replay it. What did he say to him?
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He
must have had access to Harry's Ring camera on a Saturday afternoon to see what Harry wears parked on the couch. Yeah, I mean,
either that or
he knew the whole deal.
Or Harry was there within the first few rows on like a Barca lounger with kind of feet up. I'm like, maybe Harry got like a special couch and is just laying there, kind of like George Costanza.
Well, he was working. He was on the job, Harry, today.
I mean, probably. I mean, that'll go down as that'll go down as my favorite sound clip ever on this show, and that may be the greatest moment in the history of Trump rallies, right there. Yeah. As Harry on the highway featured on stage by President Trump.
Now I have one of those moments. Where were you when? Where
were you when Trump discussed? I guess what was a private conversation with Harry on the highway about what he expects Harry to do on November 5th.
Yeah. He knows Harry.
I wonder how Harry feels about the president taking it public, their private conversation. I guess he's fine with it.
Yeah.
I wonder if Harry's heard it.
Oh, how could he not?
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go.
That's it.
Let's go, Harry.
So, let's go.
The last one was the best. Let's go, Harry.
When the phone rings November 5th in the morning, Harry, you'll know who it is. Yes. So get off the futon and let's go.
That's priceless.
There's already a meme to it that Damon is sharing.
Yeah.
From, Real Prince doll.
Real Prince doll didn't take long.
Not at all.
That's a beauty.
Didn't take long, but oh man, I mean that's just I don't know. I don't even know if I can play another clip tonight. It's
that's going to be the sign off every night until the election. Harry, get out and vote.
And I texted Harry right as it was happening too, and he didn't respond.
Not me neither. He didn't respond.
I think he was a little embarrassed.
I said, "Hey, nice shout out there," and I mean, got nothing.
I think he's a little embarrassed. He got called out. You know.
Oh man! So what? Delgado turned to me while it was happening and said, "Well," or maybe it was Slick who turned to me and said, "The next new T-shirt is going to be Harry, get your fat ass off the couch and vote."
That's the T-shirt.
Yeah. Harry, get your fat ass off the couch and let's vote.
Get your first pressing. They're not going to last.
Yeah, Slick said there could be a whole line of Harry, get your fat ass off the couch stuff. Like
you could have shorts.
You could have mugs. Yeah. You could have hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Towels.
Oh man.
Maybe you could have sweatpants, where on the back of it says Harry, or just with it printed, Harry's fat ass is right here, and get it off.
How about a couch? Yeah. Harry couch.
A Harry couch.
The Harry couch.
The fat ass couch
with just one section, really, kind of pressed in. Harry was here.
Trump's face.
Lazy boy.
New definition of lazy boy.
That was almost a Nadler moment. Almost.
Oh, my God.
Not quite. Man. Almost.
Yeah, we almost had the
when
Nadler
he did that live, I almost fell off my chair.
Yeah.
I actually... I just thought for 1 second, is it possible that he could be talking to Harry. I really thought maybe it's possible.
'Cause he looked
it might have been Harry.
He could have been looking down in the crowd and saw
exactly.
Harry there.
Until Harry tells me it wasn't him, I believe it was.
He knows.
I believe it was for him.
Yeah,
You know what?
So
I'm not even going to believe it coming out of Harry's mouth. I want to see what it would have looked like when he was saying that. If Harry was in the area,
Yeah.
the front row area, he may have
Exactly.
been like, "I know that guy."
Yep.
He's gonna get his
Exactly.
ass off the couch.
Because Trump wrote Harry a letter, by the way, when he went through his cancer. So it's not, and I mean, Harry's taking pictures with him at Mar-a-Lago. He's with John Solomon,
And now he knows Harry's better.
not like he's unaware
Yeah.
of who Harry might be. So he might have seen him, and that might have sparked that whole segment right there. So I'll tell you the one thing to get serious here for a second that stood out to me. The president said when he was talking about the assassinations, I thought this was pretty powerful. He said, "These encounters with death have not broken my will. They've given me a much bigger and stronger mission. They've only hardened my resolve to use my time on earth to make America great again." I thought that was pretty powerful.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't catch that part. The part that actually had me kind of laughing was when he's talking about Melania's new book. Did you hear that part?
Yes. Oh, she said nice things about me.
Right.
If not, don't buy it.
He's like, "Who's better than me?" He's talking about that. He's like, "Even Elvis. I'm even better than Elvis. Elvis needed a guitar."
I don't have the access of a guitar, he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was fired up. I mean, he was fired up, and this is exactly what we said we thought New York would bring.
Yeah.
New York would bring that vibe that sometimes you can only get in New York from New Yorkers.
Well, it's also his backyard.
It's his backyard.
He grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
A few miles away, so.
And boy, was it! Where were you getting those pictures this morning, Delgado? I was talking about it on my live stream.
He can't.
I really can't tell you.
Got him from his UFO there.
I thought you got him from like Weatherbug with a live cam shots of Hempstead Turnpike.
Got inside track.
You had somebody sending you those?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Something like that.
Yeah. Somebody sending me that.
Well, you tell us where you got them, or I'm going to come out of there and beat it out of you.
All right, stop droning on and on.
I'm not going to do that. You were flying your drone?
Yes, my
UFO?
drone.
Yep.
I have my drone. And the little green guy who was driving actually was taking pictures.
Yeah, news traffic in Delgado this morning. That's what I got at 6 o'clock. You believe how many people lined up to Trump? I woke up today.
I got to see it starting very early. I mean, they were there when I first spotted them, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, look at this!"
Delgado eats lunch at 6 a.m.
Yeah, so it was kind of nuts.
So what's the final? Obviously, President Trump got in and out of there, and he's safe, and that's great. What's the final word on this whole bomb deal? Because we got a notification from the police chief there, Patrick McHenry or whoever it was, that it was unfounded. Daily Mail put this out, started this. Rumor started, but then I saw that Bongino said that his people around him told him that the threat was real.
Yeah.
So do we know?
Gotta believe.
I don't think we know a definitive answer yet. It might be one of those things that they want to hold for a few days just to make sure they've got every T cross and I dotted, so to speak. But the notion that I saw one notion that it was a training thing. Yeah, no. Nobody's going to be training bomb dogs at a huge political event, a rally like this, with a super elevated security profile going on, especially what happened just a few days earlier. Not going to happen. You don't do your training there. That's like doing a bomb training at the DNC on January 6th of 2021. You don't go ahead and, hey, let's schedule training right here on the busiest day of the year. No, not going to happen.
There was a statement from the police department that said that the person with the dog was not a law enforcement agent.
So there you have it. There was no training that the federal government was doing or security was doing around that area.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I just didn't know where we landed with this. Obviously, the president's safe, and that's the most important thing. I was streaming this morning. Vin joined me on the stream, and we were looking at some of the live video coming out of Hempstead, out of Uniondale, and News 12 had interviewed somebody there. I don't know if it was the police chief or just the head of the Nassau County police that were there. But, I mean, he seemed like a no-nonsense guy. And he said, this is going to be about the safest place on earth today. And trust me, we're not going to be dealing with any nonsense. So if you're here to express your First Amendment right, God bless. Anything else, we're going to have we're not going to tolerate any nonsense. And we've got everything from inside to out locked down, and so that was kind of surprising to see this whole thing go down. And I guess we still don't know where the truth lies, but maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, and Daily Mail, we can joke about them, but they really don't get a lot of stuff wrong. They have pretty good sources, and they're usually pretty on top of a lot of these stories. So it's not like the Washington Post.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. President Trump. Man, he was fiery. What a day he had, huh? In New York.
Yeah.
Went to a bar. Paid in Bitcoin.
I think we have that clip. I didn't see a cut list, so I can't.
Went to Greg Gutfeld's show.
Yeah.
Which is coming up, I think, at 10 or 11. What time is Gutfeld?
10 o'clock.
10. So President Trump taped Gutfeld today, so he'll be on there at 10 o'clock tonight. So he went over there to the studio. So he was in New York City, went to Trump Tower, obviously. Had a meeting with, I saw Pastor Darrell Scott. Said he had met with him today, I believe. So President Trump was busy all over New York, obviously in New York City. I think someone said he stopped by a couple of firehouses.
Yeah, he was all over. There was a nice clip of him going through the streets of New York City. And wouldn't you know it, New Yorkers lined up to watch the caravan go by. Just amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, and the president says it hasn't been done in a long time, but we're going to win New York. And listen, I hope the president's right. But there is zero chance that he's going to win New York.
Zero.
Well,
Zippo.
I don't know about that.
Well, what percentage do you give it?
I don't know. Lee Zeldin got within 4 points.
That's
well, I was for governor.
So?
Well, what do you mean so?
And it was 2 years ago.
Different. Huh?
And it was 2 years ago. Things have radically changed for the worse in New York. And I think Trump is a little more, better known, more popular than a Lee Zeldin. I don't know. I'll just throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's within reach. I'm not ready to.
You think it's within reach?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, so when you say that, explain to me how he offsets 6 to 8 million votes in New York City. Like, how do you think it's?
Do you think those are the only people that vote in the state?
Well, no, I know they're not the only state, but it's been proven in it's impossible to it's really impossible to overcome that.
It's not impossible. Rudy Giuliani proved it.
Proved it for running for what?
As a Republican in New York City.
Well,
as a Republican in only New York City, not the state.
We've had Republicans. I understand. We've had Republican governors too, as well. But
but how long ago was that? George Pataki proved it, but that was for governor. That was back in what, 2000?
Yeah. We have to switch to what, Aaron? We're going to join Real America's Voice here coming up. So do whatever we have to do. Well, listen. I hope you guys are all right, and I'll never be more happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think when we said, and I've said this all along with this whole putting resources into New York, putting them into Minnesota, putting them into
they all have
other places.
About Donald Trump. I hear it all the time on what a great.
I mean, should we do that maybe after we have Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, and all these other places locked down? I mean.
Well, when are you going to do it? After the election?
Well, no, but you know what I mean.
Well, you know what? I say...
No, Damon's not hitting the sauce again.
I say always shoot for the stars because you never know. You just might grab the moon.
Turn home there to the New York City area.
That sounds like a T-shirt right there.
Yeah, grabbing the moon.
Thank you.
Delgado says,
all right.
Grab the moon.
And folks, we want to end this Trump rally coverage by thanking our sponsors, TrumpTumbler.com, the Birch Gold Group, Patriot Mobile, the Wellness Company, as well as AMAC. Thank you to our sponsors for making this coverage possible. All right, now we want to join Studio 6B, which is already in progress. My man Damon standing by. Brother, good to see you.
Terrence, good to see you. Terrence, good to see you. Craziness in New York, boy, huh?
Terrence,
I don't know if you notice, but the greatest moment in the history of rallies happened today as President Trump talked directly to Harry on the highway and told them what to do on November 5th. I don't know. Did you see that part of the rally?
I did see that part. I was like, is that? So it was Harry. I thought it was.
For sure. For sure.
Who else?
Who else would he be talking to? Harry, get your fat ass off the couch and let's go.
You said that. I didn't say that. But hey, I would imagine there's a certain amount of enthusiasm. You guys are there in New York. I would imagine there's a certain amount of enthusiasm there in New York. Obviously, enthusiasm by President Trump returning home. But just in general, looking at the possibility of change. Change can be a major motivator.
Well, you're absolutely right.
You're absolutely right. We were just arguing this on the show just now because Rick Delgado is.
He thinks New York's in play.
New York's in play.
And there's a lot of people who think New York is in play. I'm not one of them. And I don't think if you lose the state by 60 points in 2020 and then come back and win it or lose it only by 2024, that's necessarily a victory. But there's a lot of people who disagree with me that I'm hitting the sauce and New York is in play. But there is a lot of enthusiasm. You're right about that. But I don't know if he gets it across the finish line here.
So I think what it comes down to, guys, is how do we define in play? Will President Trump win New York? Probably not, based on the polling. But could some of the down ballot candidates win? Could we maybe get more New York Congress members elected? That's a strong possibility. And so from that perspective, guys, I would say, yeah, maybe New York is in play. Thoughts?
Yep. Well, I would throw it to Delgado here because you think it's in play.
My reasoning is you look across the board. Again, I'll reference we were just talking about this, like Damon said. Lee Zeldin lost by 4 points 2 years ago for the governorship. Okay. Donald Trump, I think, is a little more popular, better well known. He's a known quantity across the country, and in the last 2 years, New York has descended into a cesspool of the state that I remember. I used to live in New York City. I don't even go back there because of all the horrific stories I hear. If you just scratch the surface of what he did in the South Bronx earlier this summer and realize that is the sentiment around these other boroughs, not just only in Manhattan, but you're talking about in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Staten Island, in Queens. I'm sorry, but I think there's a lot of people that are flipping over and saying, you know what, I may not like him, or they might be like, hey, I've had enough of what the Democrats have done. I've seen enough. Time to make a change. I lived better under Trump. I don't care if he's a Republican. I just want to live better. And I think that's the bottom line. People want to live better.
Okay. So you're not buying the polling, and the last poll I think I looked at just the other day, President Trump was down by maybe 16 points or something like that.
No,
you're not buying that poll?
Not at all. Because when it was Biden earlier in the summer, they said he was down by 8 or 9. So I don't think it's going in the other direction.
Fair enough. All right. You live there, so I'll take your word for it.
All right, Terrence. So, again, we're split on the show on whether New York is in play. But listen, a great night for President Trump, a great day for President Trump, a lot of energy. He was in the city, met with, what happened with the Teamsters today. I think, it's been a busy day, so maybe it's gotten a little bit overlooked, but that's a big deal with them saying, we've looked at her and
absolutely.
We're not going to commit to her. And if you look at the internal numbers, they're overwhelmingly 59, I think it was 60% are with Trump. So that's a huge deal. I mean, that's as big as the New York Times Siena poll last Sunday that showed Trump up 58, 57 or whatever it was. But basically, if you look at the numbers underneath that, it said, hey, we feel like the country needs change, and she can't possibly position herself as change when she's tied at the hip with Joe Biden. So I think this is another one that sends shivers down their spine when they see this today.
No, absolutely. And I just want to add to that. One of the things I find so interesting about the Teamsters story is, all right, so they don't want to commit to endorsing anyone, yet the rank and file overwhelmingly supports one candidate.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you as a union, if your rank and file says something, why don't you go with the majority of your rank and file?
Yeah.
I think that's a shame. And one of the other telling things, guys, and I'll leave you at this because I'll talk all night and take up your whole show, but tomorrow is going to be a huge day as President Trump goes to Washington, D.C. He's going to be meeting with Jewish activists, and I think he's going to really be able to pick up even more support as he supports Jewish activists and their anti-Semitism efforts. So I think that's something to watch for tomorrow, guys. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, another voting block that you look at and you think, well, how do any of them vote for a Democrat this time around? And there's many voting blocks like that you look at and you think, how do they possibly pull the trigger for anybody with a D in front of their name this cycle? So you're absolutely right.
Absolutely. Guys, always fun to talk to you. I'll let you take your show away because, like I said, I'll have you guys here all night long. You'll be like, Terrence, shut up, dude. Just shut up. We got other things to do. Always good to see you guys.
All right, Terrence, great to see you as well. And, of course, you can catch Terrence in the morning, American Sunrise, each and every day right here on Real America's Voice. Great stuff. As always, great coverage from Terrence on all of these events, and John Solomon and everybody who's been a part of all these the last couple of days. Great stuff. So, well, Delgado, I mean, there you go. So, I mean, you make the case, and listen, there's a lot of people with you, but
well, you know what? And again, I'm not one to just give up. You just don't give up. I mean, if there's an opportunity there, why not go for it?
Well, we all agree with that.
And you always hear these other communities, or we've heard people talk about, why don't the Republicans visit us, or why don't they give us a chance, or come see us? Because they're available. They are available. They do want to hear what the other side has to say. But if you don't make the effort, like they haven't in the past, you're not going to get a result. And at least he's making an effort. And I think that's going to speak volumes to people. Who knows? Now, if he wins, great. If he doesn't, we didn't expect him to, right?
There's a lot of people in the chat that like to see you do a double or nothing here with me on this.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about that, but I can't do that to Slick.
Is he admitting that he lost?
Well, you can.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
no,
but I'm just following the chat with this is Delgado double or nothing. So are you saying that you on your own, just me and you straight up, you won't do that?
No, I just said, even before you just said that, I said, and if he wins, great. If he doesn't, oh well, we didn't expect him to. But if he does win, that would be a nice surprise.
So just a little bit of a hedge there, not totally 2 feet in.
I'm just keeping my skis right where they are.
Okay. All right, top of the hour, 9:01, 1 minute past the top of the hour, hour 2, live from Studio 6B. If you're just joining us. And I was just talking to Terrence about this. President Trump tonight on stage discussing publicly a conversation he had with our own Harry on the highway about the election coming up in 49 days. And I haven't talked to Harry yet to see how we led into this discussion. And I'm sure he told President Trump it was okay to talk about, but President Trump broke the news of what he said to Harry backstage before he took the stage tonight in Uniondale about November 5th and what he expects from our very own Harry on the highway. Here it is.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry.
There you go. So really the moment of the night there.
Oh man,
right? I mean,
Harry must have been very embarrassed being called out like that.
No, I think I saw some pictures of Harry out there doing this while he was saying it with a bag of chips or something.
That is
good stuff. Good stuff. So, all right, hour 2. Let's get into the show. Let's do some stuff. We'll start with some news. News is brought to you by Damon needs to wear that Welch's shirt. No, I don't need to wear a Welch's shirt, true. Mr. AZ Mikey. On YouTube, wherever platform you're on, please hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. What do you mean that's true?
Well, yeah. We want to go to the Sphere, man.
Well, yeah.
Let's get it on.
Well, we'll go for the next UFC that's at the Sphere.
We just want to go. I don't think we should limit it to a UFC battle.
Well, who do you want to go see? Bette Midler when she's there? I mean, what do you mean?
You don't like Bette Midler. I
like the Blue Man Group. You like the Blue Man Group?
Well, they're not going to be at the Sphere.
Weird looking.
Let's do the news. News is brought to you by 7cells, 7cells.com. 10% off if you use code LFSXB at checkout. What's going on, Delgado?
Well, one of my best stories from yesterday continues today.
Oh,
we're talking about day 2 of Hezbollah hilarity.
Paging?
No, they took it up a notch. It's unbelievable. This coming from the New York Post, as the Israel detonated the Hezbollah pagers early over fears that the terror group had uncovered the plot. So this is the reason they believe why the pagers all went off yesterday, early Tuesday, as Israeli officials decided to detonate the thousands of Hezbollah pagers early on Tuesday over worries that the terror group might have uncovered the plot, according to multiple reports. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his top officials reportedly greenlit the coordinated attack sooner rather than later, when intelligence briefings in recent days suggested Hezbollah might have detected the explosives allegedly placed inside their pagers. Additional sources claim the decision to launch Wednesday's follow-up attack. Huh? What do you say? I said there was a follow-up attack, which saw thousands of Hezbollah walkie-talkie radios explode. Was also sped up over concerns that the terrorists would ditch their devices following Tuesday's surprise attack, according to Axios. So yes, day 2 of the Hezbollah hilarity continued with more exploding devices around the country. They killed at least 26 people and left more than 3,200 others wounded, according to Lebanon's health ministry. The AR-924 pagers, we're talking about the pagers here, were involved in the first wave of the attacks. The Jewish state allegedly, we don't know for sure, implanted the explosive material next to the battery with a switch that could be triggered remotely to detonate. The booby-trap pagers, of course, were detonated by sending a message impersonating the leaders of the group, officials told the Times. I believe that that message was shalom. The walkie-talkies that went off today, earlier this morning, were all ordered for the terror group about 5 months ago, around the same time as the pagers. You remember, I reported that yesterday in the other story. They said it was about 5 months ago, and Mossad Mobile, they intercepted those shipments. When Israel has refused to comment, while Israel has refused to comment on the attack on Hezbollah's communication system, the terror group and the Lebanese government has placed the blame squarely on the Jewish state. These attacks, they say, will certainly be uniquely punished. There will be a bloody, unique revenge, they released in a statement. Hamas joined the condemnation. Hamas, because, we're waiting to hear from them, claiming the strikes against its fellow Iran-backed terror group now threaten the security and the stability of the region. Damon, can you believe that?
I saw Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks try to make the analogy that no one should ever buy an electronic that has anything to do with Israel again. As if just all, like, you go to Best Buy now, right. You have to worry about, like, how stupid do you have to be this guy?
Yeah. Well, I guess you don't.
AOC as well today. AOC says Israel's pager attack in Lebanon detonated thousands of handheld devices across a slew of public spaces, seriously injuring and killing innocent civilians. This attack clearly and unequivocally violates international humanitarian law and undermines U.S. efforts to prevent a wider conflict. Congress needs a full accounting of the attack, including an answer from the State Department as to whether any U.S. assistance went into development or the deployment of this technology. Which Ben Shapiro responded, "It's the most targeted anti-terror strike in human history, but sure, go on with your pro-Hezbollah propaganda efforts. After all, some of your friends had a rough day."
Yeah, according to this, the handheld radios that exploded in the second wave of remote detonated attacks that killed another 14 of these fighters and terrorists and wounding another 450. So I'd say a pretty good day all around. Maybe next time, maybe tomorrow, they should be looking at maybe their smart TVs.
Did you see the meme of Tlaib?
No.
Congresswoman Tlaib with holding up a thing at the State of the Union, a little white piece of paper that says, "My friends don't page me anymore."
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But the rank and file of Hezbollah might want to look into replacing their Alexa units or their new fridges or dishwashers.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Maybe. You never know.
Insane stuff. Insane, crazy stuff coming out of the Middle East, which, of course, is just going to ramp up the... just ramp up all the negativity and all the heightened security issues that we have going on over there.
This Harry on the Highway clip is spreading on social media like wildfire.
Wow.
I've pinned it to our X account. And if you want to share it from there, go ahead and share it. But just make sure people understand that it's Harry on the Highway, because I think some people out there are sharing it thinking that it's not, it's just some random.
What Harry?
What other Harry would have been at Uniondale tonight,
right?
And had a major role.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's in our own neighborhood.
Yeah, he comes to Uniondale, New York,
we got to take
Hempstead
ownership.
Turnpike.
Yeah, we own that.
In the backyard of Live from Studio 6B, Harry Oates, executive producer of Live from Studio 6B for 10 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of rallies.
It's now been deemed Harry on the Highway from us, given that name. Does all the rallies, goes to Uniondale, and President Trump says this.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry.
Yeah.
Get up, Harry. Come on,
people don't
let's
think
go.
that it's our Harry on the highway. Well, of course it is.
Who else would it be?
Exactly. So if you share it, make sure you share the full name. You have to write, nice of President Trump to talk to Harry on the highway, because people are just sharing that clip and saying Harry, but they're not making it clear which Harry it is. So if you do share it, make sure you make it clear who it is. So
if it would have said Damon.
Yeah.
To be like, of course they're talking about Damon. Or it would have said like Slick Rick. Of course they're talking about Damon.
Slick.
Come on.
What other Harry is he talking to in that building tonight?
Yeah. Exactly. There are none.
Our Harry.
There are none.
Delgado with the news continue.
All right, this story you may have forgotten about, but trying to keep track of it is Daniel Penny. Remember him, the hero from the New York City subway? The manslaughter trial, the DA wants to ban testimony on Jordan Neely's psych history, his K2 abuse, and other things before his death on the subway. Prosecutors, coming from, of course, the slob known as the DA in New York, are trying to ban testimony at Daniel Penny's upcoming trial that would detail Jordan Neely's psychiatric history and his chronic abuse of the drug K2. Something Penny's lawyers argue goes to the heart of justification defense in the lightning rod subway chokehold case. Defense attorneys for the ex-Marine who faces manslaughter charges want forensic psychiatrist Dr. Alexander Barday to testify about Neely's abuse of synthetic cannabinoid at next month's trial. They also want to introduce Neely's voluminous psychiatric records, which include 6,000 pages worth of material that detail the homeless man's family history, his surgeries, his prior bad acts, and more, according to court documents. Prosecutors at the Manhattan DA's office said in a recent filing that the testimony and records would only serve to batter Neely's reputation before the jury. Well, too bad, because what about the reputation of the man who is on trial? Their suggested introduction is a transparent attempt by the defense to smear the victim's character so the jury will devalue his life. According to the assistant DA, they wrote in the defense presentation, doctors' proposed testimony about Neely's past violent behavior and volatile behavior and aggressive tendencies is clearly impermissible because it's not related to the fatal encounter. Of course it's related to the fatal encounter. That's why they don't want it in there. The only thing relevant to the justification defense is the victim's behavior at the time of the incident, according to Urine. In response, Tuesday, Penny's attorney, Thomas Kenneth, wrote that the defense had no intention of trying to smear Neely's reputation in open court. So we'll look forward to more as that trial continues to chug along forward. His toxicology reports, we're talking about Neely's, have been confirmed that he had this K2 in his system when he died, so that could be contributing to why he was out of his freaking mind. And that information should be included and would inform the jurors' understanding as the plausibility of the witness accounts and the degree of hostility that Mr. Neely exhibited. So they want to make sure that the jury doesn't hear that this guy was out of his tree and probably could have seriously hurt or even killed someone, and that he needed to be restrained.
All right, let's take a break. Hour 2 live from Studio 6B. We'll do some sports, get it on track when we get back right after this. Think we could call Harry's phone? How do we get right to Harry's voicemail without him picking up the phone and then play that clip and leave it as a message for him?
Oh, God, that's too good. Just call him because he never picks up anyway. What are you talking about? Just call him.
I'll do like a good evening. This is a message from your president.
Fran should try to call him.
Very busy right now.
Fran, try calling him. He never picks up.
He could be cleaning up. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
You want me to call him?
Well, no, because we can't play it from there. Or should we call Harry and see if we can actually get him on, see how he feels about
He's not going to answer.
being featured tonight on stage?
He's busy probably packing up now. Right? They're breaking down right away. Yeah. Must have been something getting him. Whoa. Must have had that off, huh?
Well, they actually they shut down all the traffic cameras.
Somewhere. Yeah. Marriott.
Kevin was KDJ was there too, right?
Must have.
We could probably try to get him up.
Did he get it? He laughed on the chat.
I don't know if he got it.
He did. No, there was. I think he took pictures from. I think I saw pictures from inside. He got in.
I could see. Who was going to stop? He had Harry's. Didn't he have Harry's link?
We could try to call him on the phone.
Harry!
Can we make outgoing calls to people?
Harry.
Maybe.
Harry.
Maybe we should try to get Kevin Downey. So, Fran, I don't know. I think you ran out. What do you think? Is there a thing we could call Harry and see if it goes to voicemail, and then when the voicemail picks up, we play that play that as the message to him.
People in the chat are getting upset, Big D.
Why?
They're making fun of Harry. You know.
Oh, come on!
I know.
You're kidding. Who?
Oh, I forgot.
Tell me now.
Harry.
It's Harry. Okay. Are you being serious, Slick?
Somebody was upset.
What'd they say? Who is it?
I don't remember.
Tell me now.
I'm going to find out. Go back a bit. It was in the YouTube chat.
YouTube?
Yeah. It was in our YouTube.
Did they hit the like before they were complaining?
I'm sure they did not.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, busy Wednesday night. Trump live on Long Island. What a day it was. Just absolute pandemonium over there all day. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. 16, 17,000 people inside, probably another 30,000 outside, if not more. In the spillover areas, just absolute pandemonium all day over there to see Trump. The energy was just... And you could totally feel it because his energy tonight was in his comedic timing and delivery, and just everything was off the chart. So
yeah, and he was all over New York today, as a matter of fact.
He was, yes.
He went and he had that thing where he paid the bar tab in Bitcoin. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you got.
That's cut number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Donald Trump. He's at this bar, and he pays the tab in Bitcoin. They help him get the transaction through, and here it is, cut 4.
Invoice? Oh, it did go through. All right, we're done. Perfect. The first transaction by a president on the Bitcoin protocol. History.
Wow.
You know what that means?
That's the bar, the bitter end.
Hello, everybody. I got to go back and see those people.
Let's go.
Come on.
There you go, making history.
Thank you.
First president using Bitcoin.
Yeah. He don't go into a bar too often either, right? He doesn't
That's what Trump is the best in those situations. Unscripted, go in with the people.
He's unbelievable.
I mean, imagine. Remember with our whole thing on the sheets.
Yeah.
Was because when Biden walked in there, just nobody even cared. People just went about their business. Biden stumbling through, looking for whatever the hell he was looking for, Preparation H probably or something. Nobody even cared he was there.
And you know what? And there was no excitement from the people because he's not somebody who he's not a, I don't know the best way to say it, I guess, celebrity, because Trump has been a celebrity most of his life.
Yeah.
You know, based on his building, when he was a younger man in New York, the book, when that book first came out, that launched him nationally. He was known in New York, but when that book came out, The Art of the Deal, that launched him, nationally and maybe even internationally.
And he put 19,000, whatever, 16, 17,000 people in Nassau Coliseum tonight, and he didn't have to have Megan Thee Stallion there, or Big and Rich, or Luke Combs, or
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, or some musical act like Kamala had to do to whatever. They just showed up.
Yep.
Now, if he had had Delbert with him, it would have been. I mean, I would have been there.
Well, you would have been.
You sure you would have been front row?
You would have been the only one there.
And he would have been instead of saying Harry, he would have been saying Damon tonight.
Damon would have been there since last Wednesday. Camp it out, Albert.
Come on, Delbert.
You've been grilling hot dogs.
You also mentioned Trump doing the Gutfeld show earlier today. We have a clip from that. Here's Trump talking about the second assassination attempt. That's going to air tonight after our show on another network. Here's cut number 2. Check this out.
Well, Mr. P, how's your golf game?
Well, haven't been thinking about it too much lately. I always said golf is a very dangerous game.
It really is. It really is, especially if they're playing with you.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a mean joke.
Pretty sad.
Did you? If they had told you that the shooter was there, would you have tried to take him out with your 3-wood?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. If I knew. Actually, the Secret Service did a great job. They saw the barrel of a gun, big gun.
Yeah.
And it came out through bushes. And how many people would see that? First, he really was very exceptional to have done it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you think about that kind of training to be able to spot that as they were sweeping ahead. Just, man, wild.
Yeah, insane. So
yeah,
there you have it.
All right, we'll do some more news with Delgado coming up. Let's do some sports. Then we'll talk about what else happened today in the news with the Fed and how it's going to affect you and what the Fed did today. And how the Republicans are really missing the messaging here, in my estimation. We'll talk about that. But let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow, LFS6B is the code to use if you shop at MyPillow as you start to pick up your shopping extravaganzas as we head into the holiday season. We appreciate if you use LFS6B, and it's a great savings. I mean, use it for a reason. It's a great savings. It's a great way to support the show. But it's also great stuff from Lindell that you get. And, of course, we try to always sweeten the pot by giving you one of our shirts, our shirt of the month. Slick, what's going on?
All right, we're going to go back to the odds makers tomorrow night. Aaron, get ready. Your Jets are hosting the Patriots, Big D, at MetGetLife Stadium, 8:15 tomorrow night. We'll have the pick when we get on the show.
Aaron Rodgers playing on a Sunday, then a Thursday, huh?
Yeah, it's a short week for an old dude to get going. So
he'll be okay.
They're laying
how
6.
Do you know?
I know everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Jets have a couple injuries. We'll see what happens. But -6, Aaron. Get your pick ready. I sound like I know where you're going. I'll have to see if I can take the Patriots.
Jets are -6?
Yeah, Jets are -6.
Over New England. New England won week 1, surprised everybody, and then laid an egg in week 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We don't know.
So it's like, which New England, will the real Patriots please stand up?
Yep,
we don't know.
We'll see. But that should be a good game tomorrow night. Weather should be good. But, we'll have that for our odds makers tomorrow night. We'll make that pick. But let's get to Major League Baseball. Things are heating up now. We are inside less than 2 weeks, about a week and a half to go in the regular season. Wild card matchups shaping up. Division titles being clinched. In fact, the Milwaukee Brewers just clinched their division title. I think it's the 3rd time in 4 years, so they're moving on to the playoffs. And here we go. Dodgers right now lead the Marlins 8-3, bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 10th, extra innings here. Twins over the Guardians, 4-3. The Mets are on fire. Blank the Nationals, 9-0, top of the 5th.
Oh, Frank the Tank's going to be happy.
Well, the Mets are 1.5 in on the wild card, Big D. They're just ahead of Atlanta for that 3rd and last spot. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Mets with a big win tonight. The Braves won tonight as well to keep pace there. Tigers 4-1 over the Royals, bottom 6. Top of the 6th, Phillies and Brewers tied at 1. But Brewers, it's all over but the crying. Phillies as well. They're ready to clinch if they haven't already. Cardinals over the Pirates 4-2, top 6. Bottom 5th, Blue Jays and Rangers. Pitchers duel, no score. Finals from earlier today, Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Athletics down the Cubs 5-3. Diamondbacks bomb the Rockies 9-4. Angels edge the White Sox 4-3. Giants down the Orioles 5-3. Braves over the Reds 7-1. Like I said, to keep pace with the Mets, just 1.5 games behind for that last spot. Padres 4-0 over the Astros. Red Sox 2-1 over the Rays. And then the nightcap, Rick, is the Yankees out in Seattle taking on the Mariners. Yankees looking for win number 89 tonight, so it looks like they're going to clear 90 wins this year. Not a bad year for them. That's a 940.
Are they in the playoffs?
Yankees are going to win the division. Looks like they're walking away. I think that Baltimore is kind of holding on there.
They've got a 4-game lead, I think.
Yeah, Baltimore will make it. It'll be a tough. They'll be tough. They're going to.
So Delgado, you as a fan, what do you do after the baseball season or the Yankees are over? Because obviously there's nothing else to root for.
Giants. That's a sure.
Well, there's the Rangers.
Okay. You're Rangers. That's right. Rangers start in November. Yeah.
Preseason actually starts. Get this one
next week
on the 21st. Yeah, preseason is starting.
Because your football, you might as well just. Pack it in now, right?
That's all.
But that's okay because I got hockey and I got the Knicks.
Okay.
Oh, the Knicks! Don't forget, Knicks are going to be good. Yeah,
so you're kind of a New York all-around fan,
I'm a New York all-around fan.
Not Mets, not Jets.
Right. Not the crappy ones.
No, he likes the
good ones.
He likes the teams with a little more history.
It's an amazing coincidence too because anybody who likes the Giants usually is a Ranger, Yankees, and Knicks fan.
Yeah.
And anybody who usually likes the Mets goes for the Islanders, and they go for the Jets. They go for all the loser teams. Yeah. And I don't know why that is.
Ooh, Aaron,
but I guess
they
all kind of run. They all kind of run in the same. It's very rare you get the cross where you get somebody who's a Yankee fan and also an Islanders fan. Mm-hmm. But they are out there. Those species are out there. I know a few of them. But see there we have one.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I got another story I want to get to. I won't have time, but the Arizona Cardinals are ripped for forcing a woman to throw MAGA hat in trash before entering the stadium.
What?
Yeah, I got that story.
Who is this?
Up. That's out of Breitbart. The Arizona Cardinals, the good old NFL. Here's another reason they're going to hate sports on this show, but I got to get to that story in the next sports segment a little bit later. Big Dig. That's a wrap.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some more sports with Slick, and we'll get to hear what that story and many others probably. We'll do some more news with Delgado. I got a couple things. We'll talk about the Fed, what they did this morning, and why the Republicans are blowing the messaging as usual. All right, we're back right after this.
And I'll call you when Harry's here. Harry!
Harry, get your ass off the couch ringtone.
That should be your ringtone when Harry calls, Damon. That should be your ringtone now.
That would be a great ringtone.
Great ringtone.
I think I'm going to do that. You watch. Tomorrow I'm going to have that as my ringtone.
We'll be calling each other during the show.
The phone just goes off.
That is absolute epic. That was epic. Now, listen, if this rally was in Arizona, it would be funny. We'd laugh, right? Or if it was in Florida or Michigan, one of the big states in Pennsylvania, you're going to laugh. But the fact that it was literally in our backyard, about 45 minutes from where we're sitting, and you're going to tell me, Harry, it was a coincidence?
Yeah.
Come on.
I
mean, especially this side. We all know about those coincidences, right? Yeah, sure. That's the real deal, Harry. Get out and vote. Harry's going to rock the vote. I wonder if Harry does vote. That's a good question, right?
That's a good question. I'm sure he does.
Harry, are you registered? I don't, he probably is. I'm sure he is. Did he call the locksmith? That's a different story.
A different story because I don't think
the locksmith is an inside joke for all time. All time, but we're going to keep that closed door policy right now. Eventually, we'll go to Glassdoor on that, right, Aaron? Give the real statistics. That's it. It's frosted, all right. It's cracked. Oh man. Too funny. I couldn't believe when I heard that. I was like, really?
What, the Harry thing?
Because I knew he was there. That was so funny. He's looking around.
He's always at these things.
I know, but I mean, it was too much.
But it was so, like, in your face. It's like, wait. Because the only person we know is Harry on the highway.
And we're on Long Island.
Yeah.
Maybe you watched the show last night with Brian on. Harry was here. He could have been watching, tuning in, checking out the New York market, see what's going on. You never know. Got time to stop at a bar and pay with Bitcoin.
Could have stopped. Hey, could have been watching on the app on the way in.
That's right. Very nice if he made a stop out here. I mean, Gutfield's funny, but I think we're funnier. Right, Big D? I says you could have stopped here too. I mean, if you want to get a good laugh. I mean, Gutfield's funny, but I think we're funnier. Yeah, you could have stopped by, see us. Oh, yeah.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. President Trump live from Long Island tonight. Covered it right here on Real America's Voice. And the president was great, fired up, crowd was huge, energy was off the chart. So good night for the president. Good day all over New York. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing some news. We'll do some more of both here in a second. So the Fed this morning cut interest rates by 50 basis points, which was a surprise to many. We've been discussing, and I've been discussing it on my morning stream for the last couple days. And I hear Republicans talk about this, and they talk about the political side of it. Oh, is Jerome Powell doing this to help Biden or to help Harris? He's doing it politically because it's election year. And I'm thinking to myself, do these people know anything about what is actually going on underneath the economy? And the fact that, as we've said, these people at the Fed, and these Fed governors, they hold these jobs, and it's the only job, maybe not the only job, most government jobs probably, but at least these stick out to me anyways, that you can be wrong all the time and just keep failing up, or it just doesn't matter. There's no consequences whatsoever. They were way late in getting off of zero, as we called it. And now we know for a fact that they're late on this side too, because they have very blunt tools, the Fed does, for their dual mandate of steady prices and full employment. So they've been dealing so far with the first one, and now they have to deal with the second one, which is unemployment. And unemployment went from 4.3 to 4.2, and we keep being told that everything is the consumer's holding up, which the consumer's not holding up. It hasn't been holding up for a while. We know that. People are living, if they can even live paycheck to paycheck, credit card debt through the roof, savings way down. We know the deal. Everybody knows what they're paying for gas, energy, food. So Republicans are worried about how this looks politically. Meanwhile, they're cutting 50 basis points because we are most likely heading for recession. This economy is in terrible shape underneath all of the nonsense that they want to try to make you believe with the jobs numbers and all. Oh, next month comes and the previous month we had to adjust down.
Yeah,
how much? Oh, only 100,000. Last 8 months we've had to adjust down. How much? Oh, only 800,000. So the fact that they cut 50 basis points should be a big red sounding alarm going off to all Republicans. The messaging is not whether he's doing it for political reasons. The messaging is he's doing it because they're late to the party again, and we're probably not even heading for a soft or any other kind of landing other than a hard crash landing into recession. And that's why he's jumping off with 50 basis points. That's why he's going to do 25 after this. It's not because whether it's political or not, because quite frankly, this one rate cut's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help asset prices. Again, if you look at the way the stock market in history has reacted to the first rate cut, it has not been good. S&P, I think on average, has pulled back 35-40%. You are going to see profit taking in the markets because of this rate cut being at 50. Because the markets do not like uncertainty, and what 50 signals is that they are worried about something that we probably don't know yet. They're worried that they're late now to the other side of the party on cutting rates, and we're probably heading into a recession. But the Republicans are worried about how it looks politically. Ooh, is he helping Kamala Harris? Is he helping? He's rate cutting now. No, he's rate cutting now because he has to, and he's probably already late in cutting. And what you should be focused on is the fact that he cut 50 and not 25 because he's late, and we're probably heading into a terrible next 6 months economically in this country, if not longer, depending on how deep this recession is. That's what you should be messaging. Not whether he's trying to help her by doing this. He's forced into doing this. So, I mean, they just got to wake up.
All right, let me ask you a question now. Looking at it strictly political, because that's the way we got to look at all these things with the election so close. What are we, 50 days now? Is it the fact that he cut 50 and you're saying he's way late? Did he intentionally be late? Because if he would have started cutting sooner,
no.
Maybe this
I don't think so.
Recession would have kicked in sooner, which of course looks bad politically.
No, I don't think so. I think he should have started cutting probably in July by 25.
Right, but I'm saying if he would have started with the 25 in July or even June, would it speed up, this recession that
No, because all of this stuff lags. Like, people have argued that we've been in recession already. I mean, you look at GDP growth. I mean, it's not. You look at the report today. They've got possible GDP growth going down into the low ones, which again is. I mean,
those are Obama numbers.
Those are that's
Exactly.
That's bordering on recession.
Remember him?
Charles Payne was on this morning after the rate cut, or actually it was before the rate cut. We didn't know if it was 25 or 50. I've said on my morning stream for 3 days, if it was 50, I'd be worried. And it was 50. Because nobody had, I mean, there was very few. Maybe, I think the guy at Moody's maybe said he wanted it to be 50, but he wasn't sure if they would go there and rip the Band-Aid off. The fact that it was 50, to me, is a big red flag. That things are not good. And they said they're not, the thing to look for that things are really not good is when they start quantitative easing. Right now, they're still quantitative tightening. They're unloading off the balance sheet still. When they start adding back to the balance sheet and they start quantitative easing, which is probably not I'll bet probably not till next year. If maybe a quarter into next year. Maybe April, before they start the money printer up again. So people think this first rate cut's going to be the world's going to change. I don't think it's going to. I think you're going to see people in the market take profit, which means you probably see the market pull back. You probably see the S&P pull back. You probably see crypto pull back. For at least probably the rest. I wouldn't be surprised for the rest of the year. CPI next month is going to be very interesting. Jobs report now is going to be very interesting to see where this is. All this stuff works with a lag. The point being, the Republicans need to message why it was 50, not whether he did it to help one candidate or another and the timing of it. He was asked about it today in his press briefing, and he said, well, it's always something we struggle with in this meeting because it's being so close. So we deal with this every 4 years. But 11 out of the 12 agreed that they had to cut by 50. One disagreed and thought they should cut by 25. But Republicans should really message the proper thing here, not message whether it's political or not.
Now here's a question. Here's another question. Is this too wonky for most people? And by that I mean, is it something that is wonky in the way that it's kind of drilling down into things that is outside of what they normally would understand? They'd be like, well, what is 50 point, 0.25, 0.50? What does it really matter to me in my pocketbook? You know
I don't think so anymore.
No?
I don't think so, because I think we've been since COVID, we've paid such close attention to all these Fed meetings on raising rates because inflation got so high, everybody became very aware of the Fed and CPI and all these data points and all of these things that, if you think about the days of Alan Greenspan, and the most interesting thing back then is him walking across the street with his briefcase under his arm. He used to carry it. That's about as interested as people got. But now I don't think so at all. I don't think it's too wonky. I think because everybody looks at mortgage rates, they look at their credit card rates, they look at all these things, they look at, if you're into long-term treasuries or you got money in CDs and all of a sudden you're getting 5.5% where normally you'd be getting like 0.001. I think most people understand why you've had this opportunity over the last 2.5 years as we went from 0 to 5.25%, 5.5%. You started getting, you were able to put money into some things and actually get a return where you never could. You had an inverted yield curve on the 2s and 10s where you were getting more on a 2s than you were, most people, we've all grown up, you put money away, the longer you put it away, the more return you get. Right. Usually that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been that way. You've been getting better return on the shorter time. That's an inverted yield curve. And it just uninverted, which usually, again, is another sign of possible recession. So the messaging from Republicans have to be, he cut 50 for a reason, and that reason's not good. And if you want more of the same, if you want economic, just obliteration, then elect her going into next year, because you'll have rates, you'll have to have quantitative easing while inflation is respiking, and then you got Paul Volcker deal. Then you've got just an utter disaster.
Right. And everything you just said there, nobody that's watching that deals with, most people are just dealing with what they have in their pocket, what they have in their bank account that day, that week, that next week, what they have to pay for. All that stuff is, lack of a better term, gobbledygook. They don't know what it means to them right there in the here and now, because they're dealing with the here and now. And that's the reason why I say sometimes does this stuff play a little too wonky? When you say Republicans need to message better, what would be the message? Unless you're lighting things on fire.
When you say that,
I may be, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Why should people be really upset? Okay, one word: recession. This means they're planning on a recession. That would be the message, because that's what gets people to kind of perk up their ears and go, "Wait, what? What are they doing?" And then but when you start, talking about inverted spikes and this and that, I'm sorry, you're losing me. And I try and pay attention every time you talk about this stuff. But I'm just not positive what the hell it means to me down the road next week or when I get my next paycheck, what it's going to look like. So that's why I bring it up, because, you're talking about the Republican messaging. Does that message have to be something where, hey, the world is on fire, you need to pay attention? You know what I mean? Recession. Just keep saying, look, they're planning for a recession. The Democrats are planning for a recession. This is why he's doing it, and we've got to get out. We've got to get a handle on this. I don't know. Is that? I'm just trying to think of, the person waking up every morning, trying to get to work and, not thinking about, their long-term plans, trying to make sure they get food on the table every week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think people pay closer attention to this than you might think.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, 43 past the hour. Live from Studio 6B. More news and sports coming up right after this.
All your jokes. Originally they said Damon. Now they just said, guys, stop making Harry the butt of all your jokes.
What's the name? MS what?
MSO 1957.
Stop making Harry the butt of all your jokes. Is that a butt joke on Harry?
Oh, why would that guy point out? I think Harry's butt is okay.
Initially, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Harry. That could be shorts with like Harry's butt on the back. That could be another.
Yeah.
Harry, get your butt off the couch. That could be another big seller. I think you have a gold mine on your hands.
Getting Harry hot shorts.
Why can't I find this? This person, this comment.
Well, I found it. MSO 1957. It's back it's about 5 minutes back.
Stop making Harry the butt of all your jokes. I don't think we've talked about Harry in 20 minutes now.
Well, this was a holdover. Oh. But
now that you've reminded me that we haven't talked about it in 20 minutes.
Oh, now you got it. Yeah. That's got to be our sign off until election.
20 minutes is pretty good for us.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a way to get people to vote, high performance.
Somehow I think Fran's going to lose that clip. I don't know why.
Mr. AZ Mikey says it's a big joke. I know, exactly. It's like some man.
I have it saved in multiple places.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. It's in your Apple wallet. Oh, that is so. That'd make a great ringtone. Every time Harry calls, that's the ringtone you get.
Harry!
Get off the couch, Harry! I love it. Just the way he says it. I love that voice. When he does that voice, I go crazy. I love it.
Wait a second.
Wait a
second. How do I do this? This is why. Oh man, what do I do here? Fran, if I send you something,
has Harry responded to us?
What do I do here?
He's probably signing autographs out.
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. It's been a good night. President Trump live from Uniondale, New York, over in our old stomping grounds, over my old stomping grounds when I was in Hofstra, of course.
Love that place. Oh.
Uniondale, New York. The old Nassau Coliseum, which I think is about to be owned by the Sands.
They're working on
Sands Las Vegas wants to open up wants to redo the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Put a big old Vegas-style casino over there with shopping and
love that place.
Entertainment, and that used, I think, the Coliseum as the new arena for, bringing all the big old country acts in. And
I was worried they were going to take it down a couple of years ago. They were rumoring about removing it, but thank God they didn't. I mean, 3 of the top 10 moments in my life happened in that venue. God's honest truth. 3 of the top 10 moments in my life.
Yeah, casino right next to a major university. What could possibly go wrong?
Yep. We couldn't get in to see the president. We had to do the show tonight.
I'll tell you, Delgado, that's a good point. But the real problem is, it's not even the land-based casinos anymore. It's that these kids, 16, 17, 18. I see it with my son and people around him. They've already got DraftKings. They've got DraftKings and they've got FanDuel accounts.
Yeah,
and they're playing poker at their friends. I heard a kid, won't mention who, got home from work one night and said, this job sucks, Dad. I could have made $60 tonight playing poker with my friends. Like, they'd rather do that than go to work at
Wendy's.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Whatever, right. Wingdings.
That's the problem, is they have too much access. There's a casino here on Long Island now that's 18.
18 and over?
Jake's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Really?
I didn't know that.
They're 18?
18.
That explains a lot.
18 and over.
And that's the problem. It's
no, I get that.
Keep them away from.
That's gambling law, though. 18.
You got to keep them away from it. It's just a terrible, terrible thing to get into. I mean, we have fun with it for the odds makers, and you got to be responsible, and we probably should make more mention of that. People, if you're gambling, you're gambling with what you can afford to lose.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and go into it knowing that you're going to lose.
I did get guilted into opening one of those accounts for you know who. Gave him $20. I said, here, there you go. But every transaction goes through me. If I don't sign off on it, you're not going to be able to do it. And it's worked out. And, you know, he doesn't do it all that often, but occasionally he'll be like, hey, I think I want to do that. I'm like, all right, well, let's go through and I'll sit down and make sure it's done right.
Yeah, young kids have way too much access to it now to get into it. And it's like, $10 here, $10 there. And all of a sudden it starts, it's a couple $100.
Yep.
Which to a kid that age is a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah.
So you got to, you got to be on top of your kids in these devices on everything, and that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the house always wins, and when you win, it's neither sphere nor there the winnings because you never get, you never collect.
Yeah, we know that firsthand.
All right, let's do some more sports. Right. Sports is brought to you by. Did you get that, friend? Check your phone. See if any way we can get that to air. Oh man. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, one more quick sweep of the scoreboard. Big D, like I said, Major League Baseball. Brewers and Phillies tied at 1, but congratulations to the Milwaukee Brewers and the fans of Milwaukee. They just won their third title, NL Central, in 4 seasons, so they're on to the playoffs. I think they're going to be a tough team this year. Let's give the American League a little bit of love, too. In the wild card, right now you have Minnesota leading Detroit. Minnesota over Detroit for that last wild card spot in the AL, so we're excited about baseball. Yankees just underway, no score there. Cards and Pirates tied at 5. Let's see what other games are really making. Well, Braves, we know they beat the Reds, so that was good. Padres down the Astros 4-0. San Diego's playing good too. They're in a wild card spot. They got a shot. So again, we'll keep you up to date on that as the season winds down. Next Sunday will be the end of the season. Not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday. I believe that's the 29th. Yeah, that'll be the last day of the regular season, and then we'll have all the playoffs for you and keep you updated. A lot of people get into the baseball playoffs. That's where the fun really starts. But want to get to the story, Big D. Arizona Cardinals ripped for forcing woman to throw MAGA hat in trash before entering the stadium. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart Sports. The Arizona Cardinals are taking heat for forcing a season ticket holder to throw away her MAGA hat to get into the State Farm Stadium last weekend. Susan Rosner, who has owned season tickets for 34 years, can you imagine, told KPNX-TV that on Sunday, stadium security flagged her down and told her she could not enter the facility with her Make America Great Again hat. Rosner said the security officials told her that political gear is not allowed in the stadium. Rick, did you get that memo now?
Wow, I didn't hear that.
The longtime fan said she asked the security worker why the hat was prohibited. She's like, no political hats or shirts. And I said, I haven't heard that at all. And I said that she doesn't make sense to me. And she goes, I said, take your hat off, Rosner told the station. The security official asserted that Rosner could enter the stadium if she threw the hat in the garbage, and so she did just that, though she has since regretted the choice. So she's thinking about what she did here, right? In retrospect, I wish I could have stood my ground a little bit, but I wasn't sure that what the repercussions would be, and my husband would kill me if I did something that the season tickets or that jeopardizes them somehow, Rosner explained. I am super freedom of speech, Rosner added. I could care less if someone had a Kamala Harris hat or t-shirt on. I do feel like part of the problem was that the security woman definitely had a bias with my hat. However, since Rosner went to the media with her story, the Arizona Cardinals and State Farm Stadium officials have stated that the security workers misunderstood a policy on prohibited items here. The team has released a statement explaining the error. In an isolated incident at Sunday's game, a stadium security member misunderstood a policy on prohibited items. Like most venues, signage, posters, flags, or displays that are political in nature are not permitted. However, that did not apply in this instance. Moving forward, we will work to provide clarity to all stadium personnel in these situations. We have also reached out to the individual involved to communicate with her experience was not consistent with our policies and practices and apologized to her for that. Many on social media were aghast over the issue. One user pointed out that Mike Bidwell, the owner of the Cardinals, is a huge GOP donor. So another call for security officials to be fired, which is what they always do. A fourth even called for a MAGA hat night to be held at the stadium. I like that one right there. So State Farm, they weren't really a good neighbor there in Arizona which is always kind of a wild state, right? Arizona, there's always a swing going on there, so we don't know who to trust. But how to get that story in. Big D, I'm going to give it to you for the last 3 minutes, and then you can get on with your Harry stuff there.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. So there's a new version.
Oh.
I guess it's a new angle or something, I don't know, of President Trump talking about his discussion tonight at the rally with our own Harry on the Highway. Here it is. See if you can spot the difference in this one from the one we played before. Oh, wait a second. Oh, God damn it. I messed it up.
Oh, that's almost
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
All right, here we go. See if you can spot the difference.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry. Harry, get up, Harry.
There you go. So Harry approves.
This message.
Vote for Trump. I approve this message. Vote for Trump. Delgado, any other news?
Yeah, I got one clip. Believe it or not, I came across this on your Twitter X page. It is the clip of the MSNBC guest Steve Anderson, cut number 5, where he talks about how Kamala is such an inspiration to the country and to the world and to the military. You've got to see this and hear it to believe it yourself.
Top analysis. This is
cut number 5.
This is first class.
Kamala Harris would be just the opposite. Why? Because she's an inspiration. Yes. Not only is she positive, does she bring hope and optimism, but as a black woman, the product of a mixed marriage, she will inspire millions of people throughout the world. Sure. Our credibility as a nation, that we would be able to allow, our country is so great that we're allowed a woman like that to become the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. That is going to send a powerful message all over the world. People like Vladimir Putin are going to say, hey, wait a minute. These guys, they truly have a democratic country. They truly are representative. They truly are fighting for all their people. And Kamala Harris is a manifestation of that.
That's how I felt.
Shut up, Carmen. That is so lame.
She's the product of a mixed marriage. We can't challenge them now. All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Thanks to everybody on the show. Aaron and Fran, great job as always. And of course, special thanks to one, Harry on the Highway.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go.